people like to work out, they go to gyms. I just like to get in the car and drive. The car that has become known as 277 is the second Porsche that I ever bought, and I bought it at the Pomona swap meet in 1999. It wasn't just Porsche there, it was muscle cars, European sports cars, and it was just a spectacular place to go for any car enthusiast. So what became known as 277 started life as a 71 911T. Straight away I converted it to a 73 RS Carrera inspired replica, did the flares, did the ducktail, and probably in the first 2 years that car was being tracked at Willow Springs. The great thing that I love about my 71T, or the car we refer to as 277, is it's never been restored. And the sort of signature touches that I've developed on my builds recently, that car doesn't actually have any of them, with the exception of the recently added louvered deck lid. So it's a car that's been abused, it's been driven. I've put thousands of miles on that car. You know, I've driven that car to Laguna Seca and back twice, raced it there, drove it back. I've driven as far away as Thunder Hill, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Phoenix Motor Speedway, California Speedway, and obviously endless laps at Willow Springs. But I always sort of prided myself on being able to drive that car to the track, compete for a weekend, hopefully bring home a couple of plaques and drive the car back. The car was never fully developed as an all-out race car, because I love the idea of being able to drive that car on the track and the street at the same time. You know, to sum it up, it's the car that I've owned the longest. I've now owned it 14 years. It's the car that all my sort of race experience and those trophies that I've won and a couple of club championships were done in that car. It's the only car I've ever tracked. I didn't develop other streetable track cars. So it's got the most amount of mileage. It's the car that I am the most comfortable in. And then 277's got this great little touch. It has a red starter button. So I push that red starter button, and 9 times out of 10 that car fires to life straight away, with a sort of uneven rumble. You know, I bring it up on the hand throttle to let it warm up and just soak in the sound, let it come up to operating temperature. Then it's just pedal to the metal, into first gear, ease out the clutch, and away I go. That adventure begins. I suppose in a sense we're sort of spoilt by all these spectacular driving roads within an hour of where we are. You know, I've got several routes ranging from a 100-mile loop to a 300-mile loop, but one of my favorites is to drive up Angeles Crest Highway to Newcomb's Ranch, have a bite to eat and come back. It's an escape there. It's literally like being in Europe driving these alpine mountain roads. It's just beautiful terrain out there. It's unbelievably breathtaking, especially if you're out there early in the morning where the mist is sort of burning off. The terrain changes at the bottom, you know, to the top. You know, the top you'll see the pine trees and the air's cooler up there. The car actually runs a little bit different, higher altitude because of the oxygen. So, you know, the power actually is different at the top than it is at the bottom. So it is somewhat evolving all the way through. You get into a rhythm on Angeles Crest Highway. It's a flow. It's very much you get in a groove. A lot of those turns you can sort of, the sight line you can see quite a long way down the road. You know, and it does undulate up and down. You know, those sweepers, you can sort of be on the gas for a long time in those turns. And you can just take that road out for a long, long way. So there's a lot of opportunity to get at one with the car and get into that groove. Little things, heel and toe downshift, blipping the throttle, keeping your foot on the gas, but stabilizing the car with your left foot on the brake, because that's a sort of a small horsepower momentum car. So sometimes you're trail braking into those turns with your left foot, but you're still on the gas because you want to keep the revs up. So when you come out, you just roll off the left foot off the brake, and you know, your nose has got a little bit of a bite. You know, the steering's moving around. You know, you're controlling the car. It's the input that you're providing. You're not thinking about anything else other than the sound and the experience, the touch, the smell, the sight. And so that's all part of the escapism. And you are in that zone. Nothing else really matters when you're out there. I'm able to push that car to the limit. What I often describe it as a flat foot car, where I can keep my foot planted in that car almost all the time. There are no surprises. It's really got no more than 200 horsepower on a great day. I don't worry about getting rock chips or a crack in the windshield. It's got a lot of patina and character, and essentially it's got a lot of soul. Soul is something that I can't build soul into a car straight away. To me, soul, character, and patina evolve over time, and they only evolve by the car being driven. Porsches were built to be driven, and that car gets driven hard and it gets driven often.